Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go over some recommendations for the upcoming summer bonus sale for Sephora. If you are Rouge, this starts tomorrow. So August 19th through the 27th, you're going to get 20% off. And then if you are VIB, on the 20th through the 27th, you will get 15% off. And I will leave down below all the information about that along with the discount codes in case anybody hasn't gotten an email or gotten a little card in the mail. I am going to start this off because it just seems appropriate seeing as we have been going through a foundation get in here recently with 3 foundations from Sephora that I want to recommend. I'm going to start off with the one that I am currently wearing, and it is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I am going to be doing a foundation ranking video of all the new foundations, but I want to wait until I get the Fenty foundations wear test done. After that, I will do the ranking video, but I do want to suggest that if you're interested in the Fenty one, because you're going to get that discount, if you already know that's something you're going to buy, I would suggest going ahead and buying it during the sale so that you get a little bit of a discount. But back to what I was saying. This is what I am currently wearing, and it is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. I have truly fallen in love with this. I really like it because it gives me the perfect amount of coverage without it being too much. It's a nice medium coverage. It's not too luminous, so it says that it's a luminous finish, and it definitely is before I set it. But even after I've set everything with powder, I've put on bronzer, I've put on a powder blush, I've put on, my buffing powder, highlight, everything. I just feel like this gives a beautiful satin glowy finish. Like, I have not used any sprays on my face today, and I just feel like my skin looks like skin without it being too luminous or too matte. This is something I have been grabbing for quite a bit. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation, whatever it was called, from Laura Mercier. It reminds me of that, but I think this one is just a little bit less coverage and a little bit more luminous. And in case you're wondering, the shade I have been wearing is 220N. Along with that, the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. This is a matte foundation. So whereas the other one has a little bit of a satin glow type of effect, this one is definitely matte. But what I love about this one is that it is not heavy. You're not getting a lot of coverage out of this. It's definitely buildable. I think that a lot of matte foundations are buildable just because they kind of dry down so quickly and then you can kind of layer up on them. But I would say this is a light to medium coverage right off the bat with a damp sponge. I love how this looks on my skin. I like how long it wears because I get oily in my T-zone. This one lasts on me pretty well, but not as long as this. And if I'm looking for something that's going to control the oil on my pores, this is definitely it. And I have updated my shade. It is still just a little bit light for the summer months, but I'm able to bronze it up just fine. I was using 31 NN and now I grabbed 40 NN. So I don't think there's a huge difference between the two. I wanted to wait to swatch it, but I just figured I got the concealer in 40 NN and I was like, I'm just gonna get the foundation, but I could go darker if I wanted to. So if anybody's wondering about shades. Then one more. This is the newest one to my collection other than Fenty. This from Kevin Aquan, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't matter how I say it. Somebody's going to correct me. I don't know. But this foundation is so stunning on the skin. I think it's one of the least long wearing ones that I have tried. However, it's also one of the prettiest ones. It is a balm. Whoops. It's a balm texture. It has a powdery finish, but I always use a lot of moisturizer or hydrating primers or anything like that. So to me, it goes on like a satin finish, not a super matte. It doesn't make me look cakey or dry or anything like that. This makes me look almost like a porcelain doll. That's the only thing I can think to describe it, is it just makes me look so perfected in a porcelain doll type of way. I just think this is beautiful, and it also comes with a brush. I've done reviews and wear tests of all of these foundations, so if you're curious about anything, make sure you check that out. But this is definitely on the list of one that I would suggest. Going from foundations, I'm gonna go straight into concealers, and I'm gonna start off with my ride or die. Nothing has beat this yet. I just There's something about this that is just the bee's knees for me. This is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Stretchable High Coverage Concealer. Did I get it right? I can't remember names because they have such long names for everything, it seems like now. I wear the shade number 5. It is perfect for me. The texture is just so different. When they say stretchable, it actually kind of feels like it is, and I don't know how to explain that. It's something that you're just gonna have to see. I think this works for such a wide range of skin types. It's gonna work if you're oily, it's gonna work if you're dry, it's gonna work if you have deep set lines. I just think that this is one of the most versatile and beautiful concealers I have ever seen. Medium coverage, medium to full if you build it up. I like to get just a medium coverage out of this, but it looks so natural and just flawless. It goes underneath the eye and I swear it just perfects everything. Next up is from Urban Decay, and this goes right along with the foundation. I really like the combo together. I have this on today. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Correcting Concealer. Again, I updated my shade. I know the first time that I tried this, I think it was 30 NN that I tried, and it was just too light. This one is perfect. It is what I have on right now, and it's the shade 40 NN. This is one of the only matte concealers that I still like. I used to use matte concealers all the time, but I feel like I'm 33. My under eyes can get a little bit crepey, but this does not make my under eyes crepey. I don't know how. And even throughout the day, at the end of the day, I am not crepey. I don't get that drying effect that I get with most matte concealers. This is not too thick. It goes on and it feels like it's gonna be thick, but then it just blends out to the perfect layer. It's a perfect smoothness, perfect matteness, and if you have oily pores and you need something that's going to give you a good amount of coverage underneath the eyes but not mess with your pore area, this is such a great one and I highly suggest it. I really like it, and I'm not a matte concealer kind of girl anymore. I'm really not. So for me to like that is a huge deal. Speaking of pores, this is not anything new. You guys have seen me use this all the time, unless I'm testing out something else. It's the Huda Beauty Baking Powder. I use the shade Pound Cake. I am gonna have to get another one of these and see if I can show you. I'm like almost out of this one. So I am going to get a replacement of this. Nothing has beat this so far. Like all the powders I have tried has not beat this one. The next one I'm going to talk about, I would say, is second best. But this powder to bake my pores and then just be able to drag up the excess and not make my under eye look terrible, it's just amazing. There's nothing that looks as good as this, as smooth, and keeps my pores in check as much as this does. So I personally recommend it if you have a pore issue, oily issue, or anything like that. You will have to get over the strong scent like I did. It took me a little bit, but it works phenomenally well. Now I also want to suggest this one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is a brand new powder that they released with their Luminous foundation, and these two combined are beautiful. This is the loose setting powder. The shade I use is Vanilla. This does look good underneath my eyes. I was shocked because I'm constantly trying different powders. I love trying powders, foundations, anything skin-wise. I'm like, I always want to make my skin look the best. So if there's something that comes out and it's better than what I'm using, it just makes me elated. But this powder does not beat my Huda Beauty powder in terms of like this area and my eyes, but I think this is prettier all over the face. I don't like my Huda Beauty powder all over my face. To me, it does not work for me. I don't know if I already mentioned this. If I did, sorry, but I am combo, so I get oily in my T-zone, and then I can get dry, normal, whatever around the perimeter of my face. This is really beautiful, and it works all over. It does look nice underneath my eyes. It does look nice on my pores, but I like it the best around the perimeter of my face, and it comes in 5 different shades. I do believe it's 5 different shades, but this is my favorite new powder that I have tried thus far. Now let's move on to the rest of the face. So blushes, bronzers, highlighters. Bronzers. If you have not tried this out yet, I feel like you're missing out. It is one of my favorite bronzers, and it's from Fenty Beauty. It's the Sunstalker. Sun Stalker bronzers. I have two different shades. Right now, I currently have on this one right here. This is Shady Biz. It's definitely more warm tone. I love the texture of these. They just glide onto the skin, blend out. They're beautiful. They're matte. They don't have like any shimmer or anything to them, but they just go on the skin and blend out so beautifully. And I love the shade range. They have a great shade range. This one is so amazing for anybody who is fair or just lighter skin tone. This is In the Sun. This one I love when I'm a little bit more fair. Right now I'm grabbing for this one a little bit more, but both of these are absolutely stunning and they have other shades. So if you have not tried out these bronzers yet, you definitely need to. And I have to give a little shout out to my NATASHA DENONA. What is this called? I just call it the tan palette all the time, but it's the Tan Bronze and Glow palette. I'm gonna be honest, what I use the most in here is definitely the highlight right here, along with this one. Sometimes I'll kind of pop both of those, but this is what gets the most attention. It's so pretty. But you're getting 4 different products in here, one of which is a cream. That is this one right here, and it is called the Glow Impact Base. And then right here we have the Super Glow. This is the Blush and Bronze Powder. I'm reading this upside down, you guys. And then the shade that I love so much is called the Glow Impact Powder. This palette all over the face is absolutely stunning. You can do your eyes, your face, everything with this. It is gorgeous. And what I love about the bronzer in here is that it has this slight undertone of a pink hint to it. So that's why it says blush and bronze, because you can really bronze up the face and then lightly take this on the cheeks for your blush, and it's so beautiful going in with the cream base and then this powder right here and really topping it off with this. It is stunning. It is the perfect summer glow. And then this highlighter is just it's so good. It's just so beautiful. And I want to compare it to this one right here. This is from Tom Ford. It is the Skin Illuminating Powder Duo in the shade number 7, Incandescent. There's 2 different ones. One that's lighter. It's been out for quite a while. I skipped that one. I just felt like I didn't need it, and it reminded me a lot of other highlights that I had in my collection. This one, it spoke to me, and I was a little concerned that this shade right here was going to be too dark to use kind of like as a blush, but it's not. If you use a soft brush and you really buff it into the skin and kind of keep it further back, it's not going to accentuate any texture. It's going to give you a nice glow without it being too much. And then this highlight, this is what I have on today. So this one is the Tom Ford. This one is the NATASHA DENONA. And I don't know if you can tell, but the NATASHA one is just a little bit darker than the Tom Ford. I'm getting tongue-tied right here. I think this palette is so stunning. Just like the NATASHA one, I did a video where I used this on my eyes and my face, just like for a monochromatic type of look. And this on the eyes is so pretty. It's just so pretty. I've really been enjoying this, so I definitely had to add this into my recommendations. I'm gonna stick with highlighters, and I wanna talk about a possible product being released at Sephora. I have no idea if it's gonna be there or not, but if it is, you should definitely pick it up. I'm talking about the Cookie highlighter, and it is in the Cheek Leaders Mini Bronze Squad palette, as well as their larger palette. I don't remember the name, but it's in there. This is Cookie. I love Cookie, and I wanted this to be in a single so badly. I had gotten all the messages, the DMs, the tags, everything. When a picture was posted on Trend Mood, I'm telling you, everybody was like, Mel, Cookie. You better believe I snatched that right on up. But if it does come as an individual to Sephora for the sale, grab it. It is stunning. It's one of my favorite highlighters of all time. It's just beautiful. And then I'm going to go over to this guy. This is the 2nd edition of the Backstage Face Glow palette. My favorite shade in here, I think it's pretty obvious, is this peachy tone right here. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm about to hit pan on it. I have used it so much. I need this whole thing to be this peachy tone right there. So I'm going to show you right beside. This is Cookie, and this is that peachy tone. Hopefully you guys can see the peachiness, the peachiness of this shade. It is so pretty, and I have nothing else like it anywhere in my collection. I'm like looking for this. I'm trying to wipe off my fingers. The rest of the palette is absolutely beautiful. These two highlighters right here are stunning as well. This one's more pinky, this one's more gold. They are a little bit more glittery, whereas this one is more smooth. So I still love these, but I'm obsessed with this one. And then this guy I have used on my eyes. I love it. Oh, these two on my eyes together, they're stunning. So I already actually have a backup of this palette because I didn't know if it was going to run out of stock all of a sudden. I was going to be out of this shade. But if I didn't have this as a backup already, I would be grabbing another one with this sale. But this is going to work on such a wide variety of skin tones, and it's beautiful. It is so beautiful. So grab that. If you're looking in the description box, you have seen both of these blushes I'm about to talk about in my description box all the time. The first one are the Cover FX duos, my little soaps right here. I have another blush and a bronze duo as well, but these are my two favorites. I have Pink Dahlia. This is this one right here. Definitely more on the pink side. It's very springy. I'm not going to be using this one as much as we go into the fall, but it's still a beautiful color. And the pigmentation on these are so good. They are so good. I love them. And what I love about this is that you got your matte side, so you can get it right here, right where you want it. And then if you want to add just a little bit of a sheen, you can take this, and I like to keep it a little further back and then put my brighter highlight right on top. And it just makes this beautiful, I don't know, like an ombre effect on the skin. It's just beautiful. My favorite by far, I love this one the most, is Soft Peach. Ugh, this one was out of stock for a while. When I checked, it was in stock. Hopefully it is still in stock, but this is so pretty. I love it so much. This shade right here is the perfect peach tone. It is not too peach where it's like overwhelmingly so, but it's not so soft that you can't tell that it's a peach tone. And then this, I love it. This is so gorgeous on the skin. And what I have on today is from Melt Cosmetics. So Sephora recently got a lot of the Melt line, and this I immediately grabbed. These are the blushes. I have the shade Cali Dream. And this is what I have on my face right now, this peachy shade. And I'm going to show you right up against the Soft Peach, so hopefully you guys can see the difference. This one's just a little bit more peach, a little bit brighter. This one is softer, but this is what I'm wearing today. The formulas kind of remind me of each other, like the matte side in the Cover FX and then the Melt blushes. They remind me of each other. So if you like one, you're probably going to like the other. What I will say is that if you don't want to have the highlighting aspect of the Cover FX duos, you can get the Melt blushes. And then the other color that I really love is Honey Thief. And this is more neutral pink. This one right here. So this is what I have on. And then this one is Honey Thief. I just love these so much. So all of these are in my drawer right here within reach so that I can grab them and use them as much as I do. All right, let's move on to the eyes. I am so proud of myself. I only picked out 4 palettes, but before we talk about those, I gotta talk about my favorite primer, Anastasia Beverly Hills. There's one complaint, just one, that is that I wish they would come out with more shades. I don't know if they're in the process of working on more shades, but this one is pretty light. It's almost white on me. Like when I put it on my eyes, it definitely just appears very light in color. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But if you're gonna do a cut crease, this is gonna be your boo thing. I love this because I can clean up underneath my brow. This is what I have on today, and then go ahead and finish off and prime my eyes, and I don't have to set it. I love the finish of this. It is perfect. It's tacky enough to where it's going to grab a hold of like metallics and stuff like that, but it's not so tacky that you can't move your brush when you're trying to blend a matte shade. So you don't have to set it to get pigmentation, blendability, the hold, everything. I just think this is an impeccable formula. We just need a couple more shades. For my 4 different palettes, I'm going to start off with Jackie. This is so stunning, you guys. This is the Jackie Aina palette with Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I love this. I have to tell you that this is, sorry, I've been using it. This is at least top 3 for my Anastasia palettes. This was made for richer complexion so that you don't have to sit here and dip into it and put it on the eye, dip in, put it on the eye, and really have to build it up. You have instant color pigmentation with this, and the metallics, oh my goodness, I need sleep. They're stunning. Everything in this palette is stunning. The only shade that I don't really love is Supreme, and it's not because it doesn't work. I finally did use it. I used it after I did my review. It's just that I want my lime green or neon green to be there, but that's just me. Do not be afraid to use this. Dip in once, blend it out, take your time. It is something you're gonna have to spend a little bit more time, softening it up if you don't want it to be this impactful, but I don't care. This is so good. Again, top 3 for Anastasia's palettes. I love this. Love it so much. And then we're going to move straight on to NATASHA DENONA. I'm going to start off with the one that I have on my eyes right now. This is another one that I'm going to mispronounce. The All Neutral BIBA palette, maybe? I don't know. I don't think that this is all neutral. I definitely think you have mainly a mixture of warm and cool tones. So it's just an all natural palette to me, but it's something that I love. They're colors that are just slightly tweaked. I get asked all the time when I'm wearing this, and if people see it in the description box, like, what colors did you use? So I'm going to tell you what's on my eyes today. I have on Tusk. I have that all into the crease transition area, and then I put on Prairie right here. That went second into the crease, and then I put on Buff right here. That went lower down into the crease, and then on the lid I have Rustic. I have Monroe on my arch and inner corner, and then lower lash line I have Prairie and Rustic again. This palette is just stunning. I have not found a shade in here that I don't like. They all perform well. Unlike the Safari palette, just like the cool tones just did not work for me. They just were patchy. They were too powdery. They just came off the eyes. This one works. I love this palette. And then also I have to suggest one of her newest palettes, the Sunrise palette. This one right here. Skip the coral, go for this one. I'm telling you, you will be so much happier. I cannot get enough. I think this is, it screams spring, summer, and I know that we're moving into fall, but I still think this is going to transition into the fall really, really well. And if you're looking at this palette and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is terrifying because you see these darker shades, look, you got your neutrals right here, right there. And then you can just add in your deeper shades as you wish, or if you want to play with some color, you have it as well. Another thing I love, this one is $129. Yes, it is bigger and you're getting more product, but this one is $65. Way better. Way better to me. I am on board with this size, this price range, and this quality. A lot of the times with the minis, it's very hit or miss, but the shadows in here are top notch. They are beautiful and I love them. So I definitely had to recommend that. The next one is not old, but it's not new either. I just want to remind you guys about this because it's one of my favorite palettes, and it's definitely my favorite from Charlotte Tilbury, and it is the Pillow Talk palette. This is the perfect neutral pink undertone palette. I just love it. It is so easy to get a daytime appropriate, work appropriate look out of this, as well as a smoky eye with this shade right here. I've been asked so many times to dupe this. I can't do it. I can't dupe this one, and I can't dupe the Tarte Aspen Ovard palette. But if you were looking for something like the Tarte Aspen Ovard, I'd say Pill Talk or the Myth palette from Hourglass. This one is just so good. I love it so much. The only thing is, if you're over a tan skin tone, this just is not going to work for you. It's not super pigmented. It is a lighter palette, so just keep that in mind. But speaking of Charlotte, I have to talk about her Hot Lips 2 collection. Let me gather what I picked up over here. I could grab every single one of them that I have, but I was like, let me just grab the ones that I wear the most. So here they are. The packaging alone. Look at the packaging. If I can move my hands, something fell. always. Let's try this again, shall we? I'm just gonna hold them like this. You've got the different animal prints. This one has panthers on it. We have the little design of the line, the diagonal V right there. And then this one has moons and stars on it. The packaging is beautiful and they are refillable. They're just amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the colors that I have here. I'm gonna start off with the one that I'm wearing right now, which is Dance Floor Princess. I'm just gonna swatch them on my arm, my hand right here. This is what I'm wearing right now. And I have it paired with the SISLEY liner nude. Yes, nude. And then JK Magic. I think this is the one that I wear the most. That's what that one is. And then I have In Love with Olivia. The formula of these are so good. I love them. So you can see like this kind of like a step ladder right there of colors. Like they slightly go up. And then we have Angel Alessandra. This is one of my absolute favorites. This is so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And then the darkest one is Glowing Jen. The darkest one I have right here. I have some of the reds and stuff. But just in general, these overall, the entire collection, I think that she killed the colors. I think she killed the packaging. Everything about the collection was just amazing. I'm saying was like it was past tense. It's current. It is amazing. Another lipstick that I want to talk about, and this one is an oldie. I was so far behind on this. I felt left out when I finally tried my first one, and it took these going on sale. I think it was a weekly wow at Sephora, and I tried, what was the shade? This shade right here first. So these are the Tarte Color Splash lipsticks. I've heard people rave about these, but I don't know. It's like I just didn't believe it or something. I don't know what it is. But I finally grabbed one when I went on that weekly wow. And the one I started off with was Rum Punch. This shade right here. I love the formula of these. One of my favorites is Skinny Dip. If you happen to find that one, grab it. It's a nude. So if you are somebody who likes a true light nude with a liner, then you need to grab that one. But yeah, it's always out of stock, or it might have even been like a limited edition. The one that I wear the most is Beach Babe. That is this one right here. You can see it's such a good nude pink. It's gorgeous. And then Pink Lemonade. There we go. So these are very pigmented. They're hydrating, but they don't have like a little slip to them. They're not as shiny as like the Charlotte Tilbury or anything like that. They're kind of similar to the BECCA formula. I love these. This is Yours Truly. Let me just swatch that so you can see, like, they have great pigmentation. I would say that the closest formula would be the BECCA one, but I still think that these are a little bit more on the satin side than what the BECCA ones are. But that's just for comparison. They are really nice on the lips. They don't dry my lips out or anything like that. One last lip product, and it is a gloss, and it's the new ones from Hourglass. The one shade that I have to say I use the most, I mean, I love the formula in general. What are they called? The Hourglass Unreal. It just says Unreal. And then this shade is Child. Ah, so good. I love the paddle applicator on here. You can get right up against your lip line, so you don't have to wear a liner, and they're pigmented enough to where not wearing a liner still looks good. Like, this is the shade Child. It's my favorite one. And then it has a great smell to it. It's kind of like a minty type of smell, and it does have like a minty type of feel on the lips, but it's not tingly. So if you hate that tingly feel, I don't think that this is going to bother you. It's not intense enough to be super noticeable. It's just slightly minty, but I love this one. I'm going to talk about 2 finishing sprays, and then we will move on to skincare that I plan on repurchasing and a few that I just want to recommend. I know you guys have heard me talk about this to death, and I'm not stopping because it's just utter obsession. It is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. I'm sorry, I'm going to do it again for anybody who has seen me do this 1,000 times. It is the perfect fog mister. It is perfect. You don't get any dots on your face, and it smells good. And on top of that, it is, I think, the most hydrating without being oily mist I have ever used. It gives me a beautiful glow, but it does not impact the longevity. So it doesn't make it last any longer. It definitely makes everything settle in, like the powders and everything look better on your skin, but it doesn't make me get oily faster or anything like that throughout the day. This is just perfection. I can't even tell you how many of those I've gone through. And then with that, in the opposite realm, so instead of a luminous finish, the satin finish. And this is the TATCHA, the Satin Skin Mist. I think this is perfect. I haven't tried anything like it that works like this does. So I've tried different ones that have like that milky type of texture. They will leave dots all over my face no matter what I do, MAC. And then I have tried ones that just have the milky texture and they're just matte. So, you know, you're getting that matte effect. This one truly gives you a satin effect. And I will get the dots if I don't shake it up. So you have to shake it up. But when I get this all over, this perfects my pores and it also helps to hydrate the skin. So it's not matte, but it's not overly luminous either. It is right in between. And this has been so great for the summer. I just love how this looks. I will say I have bought 3. The first 2 were perfectly fine. And then this one, as you can hear, there's no little metal ball in here. And that's because I've transferred the fluid from here into another bottle because for whatever reason, this one was not spraying right. So I do want to just throw that out there to you guys that I've had 2 that were good, and then this one had a messed up pump. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I love it enough that I just dumped it into another bottle. I wish I could figure out how to get this open so I could spray it in there, but I can't figure out how to get that open. If somebody else has done it, do it. But if you are looking for something that's not going to make you matte, but it's not going to make you luminous or dry out your skin, this is it. Now I'm going to move into skincare, and I'm going to start off with another TATCHA product. Okay, if you watched my purchase or pass video, it was about 2 weeks ago or something, I talked about this eye cream, and it is the TATCHA Silk Peony Eye Cream. I said I was going to buy this, but I was going to wait until my eye cream was out so that I wouldn't open up a new one. Lo and behold, TATCHA sends it to me and I open it up immediately, of course. So I have been using this nonstop for a little over 2 weeks now, I think. I want to say that's the right time frame. This is so good. I am so impressed with this. If you watch, it is not the traditional cream. So if you see me dip it in here, you're not really seeing the product move around or seeing anything really gooped up on my hand. This is a true melt. It just melts into the skin. It hydrates and plumps and it feels so nice. It looks so good underneath makeup. I've really been enjoying this, and I think that this is gonna last a really, really long time because I'm sitting here, I've been using it for 2 weeks and I barely have a dent in it because it's like a melt. Like I said, it's almost like a solid that you're getting a little melt out of, and it just goes into the skin. So if you're wondering about this, I just have to tell you, this is definitely a good one. It's very hydrating, feels very nice on the skin, and it wears amazingly, like I said, under makeup. Now moving on to skincare. This is something that I've been trying out for months now. And this was sent to me. So it's from Sand and Sky, and this is the Australian Pink Clay Pore Refining Face Mask. They also sent over the exfoliator. For me, I'm a little too sensitive to use the exfoliator. I feel like it's a little harsh on my skin, but this is really, really nice. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's kind of messy because I've been using this. Let me get the top off of here. Ugh. So you can see, like, I'm halfway through on this. I love this. Whenever I am just like, I'm feeling like my skin looks a little dull, I want something to clean out my pores and just suck everything out, but I don't put this all over. You know, I've seen people put it all over their face. I'm combo again. So I like to put this in a strip that goes underneath the eyes, like right at the pore area, not up here to the eyes. On the pore area, on the nose, a little bit right here, and then on my chin. And it just works so well. I leave this on, I think it's like 20 minutes or so. And then I take a washcloth and I just take it off, and then I go in with my skincare. And this truly does make a difference. I really wanted to make sure that I was using it for a long enough period to know if I liked it, but I do. I like it a lot. And then we're going to get into what I need to get. So these are things that I need to get backups of, or just to replace, like this one right here. This is from Fresh. They sent over a big goodie bag and this was in it. Clearly, I have been enjoying it. This is the Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Facial Toner. I take this on a cotton square or cotton round and I just go all over the face right after I've washed it in the mornings, and I feel like just right after I use this, it hydrates my skin so well. Like I feel like my skin is so much softer after I have used this. And I know that I'm about to be out of it because there's a lot of petals down here. So I feel like I might have a week left out of this. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another one of these. I also am still using my TATCHA Essence. I'm using that mainly at night. So that's another one I definitely recommend. I have to grab these two right here, and this TATCHA does me in. I am very grateful. Do not get me wrong. I get PR from them and I get excited every single time. But it totally works because I am constantly repurchasing their stuff. Everything they have sent to me, I have liked. I don't know what it is, but TATCHA and my skin, we get along like this. Like it just works so perfectly for me. Again, everything I have tried from them, I love. Especially these two I have purchased. I can't even tell you how many times. Both of these are empty. This one is almost empty, so I need to grab one. So the first thing is these two right here. You've heard me talk about it in my skincare routines. I would definitely go check those out because a lot of things are still the same. The Deep Cleanse and the Pure One Step Camellia Cleansing Oil. This is what I like to use first. I take a few pumps, I put it in my hand, I go straight to my eyes. That dissolves all my eye makeup, it dissolves my mascara, everything, and then I take the rest all over my face, and then I rinse, and then I go in with my deep cleanse. This sounds like it would dry out your skin, but it doesn't. It has these beads in there that aren't harsh on your skin at all. They're not like abrasive or anything like that. This is the perfect cleanser for me because it really cleans my skin, but it doesn't dry me out because I am susceptible to getting dried out from a lot of different cleansers. But it also keeps my pores in check. I don't know how it does it, but I love this. And then my vitamin C serum, this is what I use during the day, and it is the TATCHA Violet C Brightening Serum. But anywho, that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. I'll see you guys in my next video. Happy shopping. Bye, guys.